Recently, I made a... As I was saying, recently I made a video about using negative parts to create articulated and sliding models. And, well, this time you probably guess we're going to use negative parts to create clicking models. And no, I'm not going to keep doing the clicking thing.
I'm going to hold you to that, sir.
Using negative part models in your designs, well, it's kind of like a 3D printing super hack. And just as amazing is being able to do something this powerful right in your slicer. For these models, you're going to need to combine it all with those cheap keyboard switches, you know, the ones you can buy online. And I'll have a link to those in the description just so you can see it if you want, but, you know, just about any of them are going to work. Or you can search the online databases for some 3D printed keyboard switches, but I never really seem to have great luck with those. Just like my previous video, there are a lot of options out there for negative part cutter models, and I'm going to keep it simple here with just two different styles of clicker models, and they basically do pretty much the same thing, but they work in two totally different scenarios. Also, just like my previous video, here are my main tips to help you with your own negative part models. Now, feel free to pause and take a screenshot. Above all of that though, there's two things that I really think you need to remember, especially for these clickers. And that goes back to tip number 4, center. This one is an absolute must-do for using these clickers. And then there's a specific tip just for these type of models, these clickers. Don't resize. Seriously.
Maybe a little.
Not even a little bit. They all need to stay exactly the same size to fit those purchased or printed clickers. Now the first one I looked at is called the Clicker Cutter Make Your Own. Imaginative name, I know. Just wait till the next one. This cutter gives you two pieces, a top and a bottom, and that means you have to have two models, again, a top and a bottom. But if you do have a single model, you can just slice it in half where you want the clicker to go, and if necessary, flip the top over just to make it easier to work on. I decided to go simple with my model for this one, so I made 3 primitive squares, 2 small and a large. I used one of the small ones to cut a hole out of the big one, you know, the Boolean subtract, and then I resized the remaining small one just a little bit less for some tolerance so it would hopefully slide a little bit easier. Then it's as simple as center and merge your part and cutter, move the cutter so it's just barely visible above the part, then move that whole piece out of the way and do the same with your other part. Next, you can either Boolean subtract or change the cutter to a negative part, and that's your choice. Of course, I did have to resort to tip number 5 on one of these when I had a problem getting Boolean subtract to work. But just a quick repair and I was ready to print. I inserted a keyboard switch, and even though I probably should have given a little more tolerance in there, I think it works great. And after all of that, I actually think I like it better upside down. Kind of gives a Minecraft vibe.
We heard that you might be teaching Minecraft to adults.
Well, next up is the Clicker Cutter Make Your Own Clicker Full Tutorial. So pretty much the same name as the other one. But this one's different than the first one because, well, it's all just one piece. You're going to need a model to split, but this time it's split using the cutter, and that makes things a lot easier. I went easy again and dropped down just a primitive square. Then, well, it's simple as putting the cutter in the right spot, merging, and Boolean subtracting. Then there's just one more very important part you've probably already noticed. You're going to need to split your model into 2 separate objects. So move it apart, orient your parts for best printing, and print it out. But you know, I couldn't leave it there. My wife had just days before asked me to print this little Harry Potter sorting hat, and I honestly forgot about it. Sorry. But this is a great way to make it up to her by making it interactive. After merging the cutter with the hat, well, I had to be careful of thin areas that would be left from the cut, you know, like the hat brim there and even a little bit of the book. Tip number 6 will help you a lot getting this all right by changing the color of the cutter. And because this is a hat, well, there's going to be supports no matter what, but making it closer to the brim should help you out a lot. After cutting out the part and then splitting the model to separate objects, I printed them in brown to get a real hat look. And, well, my wife loved it. She thought it looked great and was very surprised that it clicked. She clicked it a lot. But something kept nagging at me here. There were 3 books here originally, and my cutter deleted one, you know, to make room for the fidget switch in there. And, well, that's when I realized I might have used the wrong cutter on this model. So this time I split the hat and books first, and then flipped the hat over 180 degrees to help me place everything in there, subtracted out both parts, flipped the hat back, and printed again. Well, there it is now with all 3 books visible. But I don't know if you see it, there's a big space in between on this one, between the brim and the books. It's huge. So, all things being said, I guess I like the first one better. As I said before, using negative parts right in your slicer, well, it's kind of like a 3D printing super hack.
Life hacking, baby.
And hopefully this will all give you a ton of ideas for a lot of other incredible models. And if it did inspire you in any way, well, I'd appreciate it if you'd share the video and subscribe. So let's all keep on 3D printing positive and negative parts as we continue to learn, create, and amaze.